going on, YouTube? Today we're back in the shop. We're going to be working on the Project Slow Integra. And what we have in the store for today, we'll be installing our Lexan windows onto the doors that are currently off. I don't know, I was walking towards the outside. It's on the inside right now, little stuff. Look over here. Got the Lexan windows. If you saw one of our last videos, we just got these in from Y&S Lexan. Wonderful company, best quality Lexan for the most affordable price you can find online or anywhere for that matter. They come out pre-cut to your specific car. They mostly deal with Acuras and Acuras and Hondas, but I'm sure that if you give them a call, they'd be able to give you more information on other cars. We're gonna be doing it onto these cut doors that we have for the Project Slow Integra. If you can see, there's no interior skin, no crash bars or anything. You know, she's gonna be ugly. But we're gonna have a separate door or separate set of doors for the street, as well as a separate set for the track. This will be primarily the track, and if we want to get a little risky on the street. The main process that we're gonna start by doing is removing the stock molding. Some people do it with this molding right here, this rubber piece. We are going to see how it looks without it, just so we can get a better rivet contact. Although it's kind of like contradictory in the sense that I wanted the cushion of the stock molding, but at the same time, I want there to be direct contact with the metal. I don't know if that's contradictory, but I want there to be as sturdy as a installation that I can have it. So that's why I'm gonna be taking this off, or at least testing it out on one of the doors like that. We are going to take it all off, measure everything up with the Lexan, dot up with a Sharpie where we want the holes to be drilled. Then we are going to be mocking it up, obviously, drilling out the holes on the Lexan, then drilling out the door and the corresponding areas, and using our rivets that we just picked up at Home Depot yesterday with a little rivet gun. I think we're using 3/16 size rivets with a 7/16, sorry, friend of mine, with a 7/16 size drill bit. That way there's a little bit of extra room for expansion and contraction and everything. That was one of the tips that I found online. So we're pretty much just gonna dive right into it. My buddy's Max should be on his way right now. Get a couple good vlogs in, get some good vibes, and you know, just get it done. Okay, sounds good. Next scene. Now, each specific model or car that you're gonna be working on is gonna be different, obviously, since not everything is manufactured the same way. On this specific application, on the Integras, there are 3 Phillips head screwdrivers that are easily visibly, or not screwdrivers, Phillips head screws that are easily visibly seen. I don't know if that's the correct wording, but you can see them right on the track, on the molding. So we are starting by taking those apart. And just as a disclaimer, make sure you watch this whole video. I have never done this on this specific vehicle. So right now we're kind of diving into this together. But it's kind of basic knowledge on what you want to do. Just remove the molding and expose the bare metal. So let me put those down. That just comes right off. And the same goes for this trim. You just pull it back. Now, I'm not going to cut any of this. I'm just taking it off as cautionary as I can, just in case if we decide to go back and use this molding. I doubt we will, but there's always the chance, and it never hurts to have extra molding. There's a couple tabs I want to show you up close. Okay, you see that green tab right here? So that is like a rectangular, not rectangular, but it's long ways up and down, and there's a circle-ish hole in the rubber, got you, in the rubber molding. So what you want to do to not rip it is lift up one side and then bring it over the top, and then down the bottom. You have the hole perfectly unbroken. And there's many of these all around the car, especially on the moldings. And you just want to go ahead and repeat that process on the whole car, whatever part of the moldings you're working on. There's one more down here I'm gonna take off. Okay, now that molding's off. It's already 2 pieces removed. Now the top molding. I think we're gonna keep the top molding because this seals with the actual door. We'll flip this around for you to see. Okay, let's see, camera angle, it looks okay. This seals with the actual door right up here, as well as right here. And if I can still keep some sealing of the door so there's not a lot of air coming in, a lot of noises, I'd like to do so. But for the most part, where the Lexan is gonna sit is right on here, and that's pretty much all exposed. That's all gone, that's all gone. I'm going to take off these little plastic pieces and have it sit nice and flush. So let me go ahead and prep that up real quick. Boy Max! What up, boy? All right, well, he puts in the code and whatnot into this high security area that we're in. I'm gonna start working on this. I'll set it on time lapse. All right, so we got Max over here helping us out now. What up, what up?
What's going on?
So we just tested out, you wanna put it up so they can see? We just tested out the Lexan without any of the molding or anything. And we ran into, not a problem, but an opportunity to adapt to the situation. Let's get it in this. So if you look, we don't have any of the molding, none of the rubber like we mentioned before. And it's gonna sit super flush with the actual door, which I love because you get the best contact for the rivets and everything. So up here, perfect. One thing that I noticed, there's quite a gap between the door and the Lexan, right over here. So one thing I thought of, and we thought of together, was to just rivet it on here, since this is just gonna be basically a track door or a big race door or whatever. And for when I am driving it on the street or taking it out to meets or anything, I'd already planned on having an extra set of doors because I want to have a crash bar, I want to have door panels and functioning windows and everything. So for the track or for races, it doesn't really matter that I have a small gap. And worst case scenario, we can always use like the expanding foam and just fill that gap if we want to have it airtight, like super sealed. But for right now, I think it's okay. So next step would be to get our Sharpie and start marking exactly where we think we should drill the rivet holes. Got all of our rivets marked where they're gonna go. Nice and spaced out over here, and then a little bit closer over top. And something that looks a lot better on Lexan is to spray paint the outer corner or the outer strips black. It just gives it a lot of a nicer finish. Right now you can't really tell how the underneath is gonna look because I have the cover of the actual Lexan sheet still on there. It's just something to keep in mind. Once you get everything ready, everything's all drilled, it's nice to paint it. Okay, let me just go over what we're gonna be using. We've got the table set up, everything pre-marked on where we're gonna be drilling. Got my Makita wireless, cordless, whatever you wanna call it, brushless, screwdriver, what's it called? Impact thing, yep. With the 7/32 drill bit for a 3/16 rivet, which is a 6/32. So this is slightly bigger. And I've got the Stanley rivet gun thing. I'm gonna set that off to the side as well as this. And we're gonna start drilling this out. We should use the clamps, the soft clamps that they sell. That way it doesn't move at all, but Max is gonna be nice enough to hold this down for us real quick. Gotcha. Hold it down. So this doesn't move and we can start drilling nice and evenly. Okay, so we've got one side already drilled out. Instead of going through the table, we decided to use a little 2x4, which was a lot smarter than doing the table. And something that I've noticed with Lexan, it's a lot softer than plexiglass. With plexiglass, we had to heat it up. We weren't using it for windows, we were using it for something else in the past. But we had to heat it up, make sure that nothing happened with it and whatnot. Lexan is super easy to play with and work with because it's a lot softer than plexiglass, it's a lot stronger, and it's awesome because it's super light. So very softly with our drill, we're just going in and making the holes right where we pre-marked the Lexan. and it's basically like cake. The hardest part is gonna be drilling the car. Okay, so we pre-drilled out the holes. Something to keep in mind, Lexan is a lot softer than I thought it would be, so I think it'll be a lot safer to drill up closer to the edge. Where we messed up is right towards where we drilled. We should have gone a little bit higher because that's kind of the lip of the actual door itself. So it's gonna be a little bit hard for the rivets to hold up top. We're gonna do our best, but it looks like we did it a little bit too low. But you know, we see problems and we're gonna try to have solutions to it. Right now, we're gonna take the plastic sheet from the outside, take that off, and with some tape, hold it up, as well as holding it up with our hands, and start drilling out the door. And if it looks straight, we're just gonna rivet it straight on. Okay, so if you noticed in the time lapse, sorry, we got 3 of the rivets on, 1 on that corner, 2 on this. One thing that we noticed right off the bat was, like we already mentioned, that it's off a little bit on the top, but this one was as well, and we made it work. We just kind of drilled up at an angle and worked with it. Came out perfectly. Then on the bottom 2, came out very nice. You can see that it's nice and sturdy. When we came to this one, it's a little bit farther, the back of it, that it needs to grab on than what the rivets we have can reach. Same thing goes for the top one. The rivet doesn't reach in as deep as it should. Not that it shouldn't. Not that it's not working correctly, it's just we have the wrong size rivets. So we're gonna go back to Home Depot where we bought these rivets and buy another pack and get ones that are a little bit longer so they reach into the door trim itself, or the door frame itself. Now we know exactly how we did this side, and for the next one I know that we're gonna have a lot of more insight. We're gonna drill up top a lot closer and make sure that we get the Lexan looking perfect for the driver's side. What do you think, Mr. Simply Fuego?
Good, bro.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to Home Depot real quick. Here, you can sit on the floor. I'm gonna go in the driver's seat. Nah, I'm kidding, We're taking the truck. All right, so we just got to Ace Hardware. We actually ended up coming here because it was a lot closer than Home Depot, like we were originally gonna go. But I'm sure they have rivets here, so let's go check it out. Oh, this is cool. The DeWalt's. These are really good. This is basically the comparison to my Makita 20-volt brushless. But online it said that the Makita was a lot better for durability and comfort of the hand. Where do they have rivets in this place? I think around here? Should be around here somewhere. We're gonna get some paint for the Lexan windows while we're at it, just so we can do the trims. Some flat black or something.
No, bro, I got you.
Hey, perfect. Like that color? We're gonna paint his hatch this color soon.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Bright pink.
Flat protective. So
Yeah,
we'll just do this. Nice. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where can I find some rivets?
Rivets?
Yes, sir.
You see where that wall is of belts?
Yes, sir.
Make that right next to it.
Okay, thanks. Oh, we got some new intercooler piping couplers. This should be good, right?
That's good.
Hold about 40 pounds of boost. Hey, Dios mío.
It's every Honda guy's dream to run. Sometimes, bro.
That's Speed Factory life. They run like
Actually,
60
yeah,
or something, right?
They do run over 60.
All right, we got 3/16. It looks about the size and length that we have right now. These look longer right here. Yeah, these are much longer. This should be good, right? This should be good. Don't go to Ace for rivets. Home Depot was like $3, and over here it was, dude, what?
Almost $9 for rivets.
It was like $8.59 for a pack
right
of
now,
50. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
But whatever, we don't want to drive all the way into town to go to Home Depot to get the rivets. So we just got them from here. I guess we saved the money on gas in this big old truck. Whatever. Got the last rivet going on for this door. So like we were mentioning earlier, we drilled the holes for the Lexan a little bit too low. So, let me get this last one. So you can see where we had to kind of drill up. This was the original hole, for example, and then we had to re-drill a little bit higher. But we made it work. It doesn't look too bad. Some of it didn't come out as even as we'd like, but it's all right. It's a race car, nobody cares. Now we're just gonna take this off and paint a little strip of black around it so it looks a little bit neater. Outside trim painted, just 2 coats, nice and simple. Nothing special, nothing like whatever, it's just freaking Rust-Oleum. We're gonna set it outside right now so it can paint it can dry real quick. And it should be dry to touch in like half an hour. We're gonna be putting the doors on later today anyway. But at least it can get some sunlight, some fresh air. And we can start working on the Lexan for the other window. And these towels are moving everywhere. Let's take these towels off. Now we're on to the driver's side door. Just to show you how we're gonna do this side. We're correcting our issue of the last side that we did. This is already without the covers on it or anything, but we can see clearly exactly where there's a good biteable metal for the rivet. So now we can mark exactly how we need it to be drilled. Focus a little bit. So for example, we're gonna do up here. It's a little bit higher where we're gonna be drilling it out. Same goes for the sides. You get it exactly how we need while we support it with a little bit of tape. So for this one, we just marked out the places where we're gonna drill, and we got it with the tape. We drilled 2 rivets. We drilled 2 spots, riveted it on. That way the Lexan was secure. After we did that, we kept the tape on, kept the marks and everything, and just kept on drilling. We drilled out the rest of the spots on both the frame and the Lexan, then cleaned it out from underneath just by blowing it and passing a little paper towel. And now that it's all as clean as we can get it, basically, we're throwing all the rivets on there. And we'll do the same that we did to the other door and paint the outside just so it gives it that little sleek look to it. Okay, now we're starting to mask this up. Alright, there we go. Nice crisp. Straight angle right there. Right there. Now the trick to getting this to curve is hold it down just like we did on the bottom and mold it with your finger while pulling the outside, like stretch it and pull it down at the same time. So you'll get the line that you want, but then the bottom of the masking tape isn't gonna contact. As you can see, it like wrinkles back here. But it gives you just enough curve to exactly get it how you would like. You can just lift up and adjust to your liking. You just add a little bit more of stuff to cover down here. But right now we're just working on the lines. All right, we got the paint out here drying real quick. I messed up, did a little too heavy right up top, so it's running a bit. Oh dang, right here too. I messed up. Oh well.
It's all good. It's a race car,
It's
bro.
all good. Exactly. It's a race car. I don't have to look pretty. Just gotta go fast. Cleaning up the surface right now. You know, gotta rep the company, Y&S Lexan. Thank you so much for this amazing product, guys. Make sure to check them out on Facebook. Like always, I'll put their link right down in the description. And I'm gonna set that right about there. Throw in back their sticker. I don't have nails. Don't make fun of me.
You just cut out this part when you peeling it off, and then
True.
yeah, I'll just keep it rolling.
Right about there. The thing that makes it all happen. Credit card, debit card.
It's official now.
Y&S Lexan, check them out. Great products, affordable price, wonderful staff. Y&S Lexan. Obviously, I gotta adjust the fenders and whatnot, make it line up perfectly. But for the first time in almost a year, it's got a bumper, fenders, doors that are about to go on. Finally starting to look like a car again, guys. Finally starting to look like a car again. Well, that pretty much brings a conclusion for our vlog for today. We're gonna be doing a few other things, but not really anything special. So I'm just gonna end the video for today. If you have any questions, especially on the Lexan, because that's our main topic for the day, make sure to give us a comment or a message and we'll be happy to respond. Like always, hit that like button, right, Max? What do we say?
Right.
I don't know what I'm gonna say. Okay, stay tuned.